The waiter brings the bill and places it in front of the girl. The guy says, "You shouldn't give the bill to the girl. Give it to me, I'll pay." The guy looks at the bill, gets shocked, and says, "This much?" Then he takes out his wallet and realizes there's no cash inside. He says, "Oh no," in a hurry, "I forgot to keep money in my wallet." Then he looks at the girl and says, "Can you pay this time?" The girl replies, "What, me? But I don't have cash either. You pay with your credit card." The guy says, "Yeah, that's fine." He takes out his card and gives it to the waiter, saying, "Please make the payment." The waiter goes and comes back after a while saying, "Sir, your card isn't working." The guy takes out another card and gives it to him. The waiter goes again, then returns and says, "Sir, this card is blocked." The guy takes out a third card and hands it over. The waiter tries again, but comes back saying, "Sir, this card also isn't working." The guy gets irritated and says, "How's that possible? Check your machine." The waiter replies, "Sir, there's no problem with our machine. Other customers are paying just fine." At this point, the girl says, "If you didn't have money, you could have taken me to a cheaper restaurant." The guy says, "Don't worry, I'll call my friend." The girl replies, "Okay, I'm going to the washroom. I'll be back." But as she walks away, the waiter notices something and says, "Sir, look, the girl is running away." The guy turns and sees she's actually running. The waiter says, "She's running to avoid paying the bill." The guy smiles and says, "Well, at least now I know what I wanted to find out." The waiter asks, "What do you mean, sir?" The guy says, "I was testing if she loves me for my money or for me, and now I know. She left me in my bad time." But suddenly, the girl comes back. The guy asks, "Why did you come back?" She says, "When I went to the washroom, I thought I'd pay the bill, but when I checked, there was no network for online payment, so I thought I'd go to a nearby shop to withdraw cash. But you misunderstood me. My parents taught me that no matter good times or bad, we should stand by each other." The guy smiles and says, "That's such a beautiful thought." The girl says, "Thank you." The guy apologizes and says, "I'm sorry. Nowadays, most girls only care about money." The girl replies, "I'm not one of those girls." The guy says, "I like your thinking, and I like you too." The girl says, "It's okay, I understand." Then she takes out some cash from her bag and pays the waiter. The waiter thanks her. The guy says, "Just stay the way you are." The girl smiles and says, "You too." They both leave the restaurant happily. The wife says to him, "I'm going to a club party." Her husband replies, "Go ahead." Then the girl says, "I'm going in this dress." The man responds, "Who's stopping you?" The girl looks surprised and says, "There will be guys there." The other girl adds, "We'll also have drinks." The man says, "If you're going to a party, of course there will be guys." Then the girl says, "There will be guys drinking with us too, so maybe we won't come home. We might stay at a friend's house." The man calmly says, "No problem. If you're late, just call me. I'll come pick you up." Then the girl says, "I need money." The husband asks, "How much?" She replies, 30,000 rupees. The man gives her the money. He says, "It might be more than 30,000. The girl says, "I'm not giving any account for the money." Just then, the doorbell rings. The girl says, "I'll check." She opens the door and hugs a male friend. The husband asks, "Who's this?" The girl says, "This is my friend, the one we're going to the party with. We'll be staying at his house tonight." The man says, "Take care then." The girl says, "He lives alone and we'll be staying in the same room." The husband says, "All right, stay there then." The girl gets angry and says, "Fine, I'm leaving." She calls her friend and leaves. Outside, she angrily tells her friends, "My husband doesn't stop me from anything. I'm going in revealing clothes. And still, he doesn't stop me. He doesn't even love me." Her friends reply, "You wanted freedom, and your husband is giving you freedom." The girl says, "I don't want this kind of freedom where he doesn't even care where I'm going, who I'm with, or what I'm doing. Before, he used to stop me from going to parties. Now nothing matters to him." Then one of her male friends says, "I'm a guy, and I can tell you this. You must have said something that hurt him. Think about it." She recalls a day when her husband told her, "Don't go to the club." She got angry and said, "Don't stop me from going to the club." He said, "You're married now? You should be careful. Why are you wearing such revealing clothes?" She said, "I will go. I won't live by your rules." And she left, ignoring him calling after her. Now she realizes her mistake. She tells her friends, "You go ahead. I need to do something." Her friends say, "Okay, but talk to your husband." She returns home worried. Her husband asks, "What happened? Didn't you go to the party?" She says, "You're upset with me, right?" He replies, "Why would I be upset?" She says, "Because of our fight earlier. I regret it." She apologizes to him. He says, "You wanted a life full of freedom. Now I'm not stopping you. So why are you worried? Go to the party." She says, "No, please stop this. Be the way you were before." He asks, "What did you say? Be like before? I don't want to make that mistake again. A man only stops someone he loves because he doesn't want anyone to look at her in a bad way. That's why I stopped you." The girl realizes her mistake, pleads for forgiveness, and promises never to do it again. The man says, "It's okay. I forgive you. Don't do this again. If you want to go to the party, go ahead." She replies, "I'm not going to any party. I was just testing your reaction. I wanted you to stop me." The man says, "You forced me into this situation." Then he says, "Forget all this. Go get ready. I'll get ready too, and we'll go out for dinner." The girl smiles happily and says, "Okay." She feels very happy for having such an understanding husband. This deserves